This is what it costs for us to do the job. Not, well, this is kind of what the going rate, this is kind of what everyone's billing out. I don't care what everyone's billing out. This is what it costs me to do the job. I'm going to give you a quick example. Okay, I have a plumbing company, and then I run it, and I got 7 guys, and life's good. And then I go to retire, and I give it to my son. I sell it to him for $1. And now that's one scenario. The other scenario is this guy here comes out of the clear blue, came from poverty, decides he's going to open a business. He's got a lot of overhead. He's got to have to borrow money to maybe get a brick and mortar place. He's maybe have to borrow money to buy a used van. He may have to, whatever. The other guy who inherited it from his father has no overhead. So technically he can make a profit with lesser overhead that he has to cover. So with that being said, it's what we can do the job for that makes it so we can make a profit. That's how you bill, is where we can make a job. And you have to know your numbers. You got to know your overhead. You got to know why we have to bill at this amount, because this is just so we can break even at the end of the month. And then we want to add icing to it. We got to have a determination how much profit margin we want. That's got to go on there as well. But that's what it takes for us to do the job. There's no negotiating. There's no negotiating. You know what? A lot of times I used to do to some people when I was first got in the trade and I was working, and when I first started, guys would say, I'd go look at a job and they'd say, hey, and we had some rough times, in our house recently and stuff like that. If you any way you can keep the price down, or cut me a break, on the bill, when you give me a quote, I would automatically open up my wallet and give them $100. And they go, well, what's this for? Well, you said you were hurting. I'm giving you some money. He said, well, I can't take your money. I said, well, you're willing to take it on the back end of the job. Take it on the front end. That's how I would handle it. All right, I got you. I got your point now. Okay, then. This is what it costs for us to do the job.
But listen, Wes, this was one of the and people say, oh, Jay, you're such a suck up, but it's not being a suck up. That was not a thing that it was on my tool belt. That specific smart remark, or that, really show and tell action. It's not aggressive. I would say it's kind of non-confrontational, but it keeps things surprising. So just the shock value of having someone take $100 or 100 reais, it could be 50. It doesn't matter. You can actually write client on that bill and just have it ready. It's like, I always have a $50 for my clients who are hurting. You know what I mean? So then you make something that is a reminder for you that your price is your price. Your cost of doing business is your cost of doing business. Don't pre-negotiate your price before you present it to the customer, before you had some objections, before you saw the competition beating you on behalf of price or because of pricing. Because you also need, as a CEO, to differentiate, am I losing, right? Am I behind the curve because of my pricing structure, or my service delivery, or the quality of my product? Those are 3 different things. And oftentimes you're only changing the pricing lever instead of really looking at, how am I delivering the service? What are my clients saying? The last 5 clients that pay full price, what did they say? The last 10, right? Go ahead, Wes.
A lot of times in this community I'm in, a lot of it is they're kind of I don't want to say poorer. They have a different mindset, and a lot of them they shop on price. There's other customers we have that don't, and we know that. But when they shop on price, when we lose a job because our price may be more expensive, and we'll follow up. Hey, did you ever come to a conclusion, or did you ever move forward on that project, or did you ever make a decision on it? And they'll say, oh yeah, we went with another person. And where did how did we fail you? Well, it's kind of on price. You guys are a little expensive. And then I always say, well, you get what you pay for, and we give great service. So I understand that. Well, have a good day. And then let them think, you know what? What did I give? What did I really lose with the amount of money he was going to charge me? Because that's what he came back at me with.
Uh-huh.
Is, well, you get what you pay for. So, okay, I understand. And a lot of times they say, what do I get that I don't get from you? I says, first of all, you're going to get a good job. Second of all, you have someone to call in the event something fails you. I'm going to answer that phone and make sure you're taken care of. We're insured. You went with a different company that's not going to give you the same service, and that's okay if that's good enough for you. But this is what we offer, and maybe next time. Think about us next time.
So this was a preview for our next episode. Thank you, Wes, for this. This is a preview for our next episode, which is called "Same Work, Different Price." Here's why, and we'll try to peel off how you transition right from being someone who always negotiates on price, who always comes a little under, who always says, "Oh, that's okay," versus being someone that can command their own price, that does not negotiate out of fear, so you get to keep your best clients. So we have tons of content coming up on that next year, and we're really excited. So subscribe, like, comment. My name is Jay Silva.
Wes Rosenberg,
Stay on the grind.
stay on the ground.